Protests erupted across the streets of Maputo, Mozambique, following a controversial ruling by the country's top court. The Constitutional Council had confirmed the victory of the ruling Frelimo party in the disputed October elections, sparking widespread unrest. Opposition leader Venancio Mondlane, who ran under the Podemos party, rejected the results, claiming widespread electoral fraud. Mondlane, who had significant support among the nation's youth, argues that the election was rigged and vows to continue the fight for justice. The Constitutional Council's decision to uphold the victory of Frelimo candidate Daniel Chapo, who won the election in a landslide, was met with strong opposition. Venancio Mondlane, the opposition candidate from the Podemos party, rejected the results, claiming that the election was rigged. Mondlane and his supporters, particularly young voters, argued that the electoral process had been manipulated. Following the announcement, protests broke out across the country. Demonstrators targeted police stations, petrol stations, banks, and other public facilities. Roads were blocked and tires burned as people voiced their frustration with what they saw as years of corruption and unemployment under the ruling party. Since late October, the protests have turned increasingly violent. Security forces were accused of using excessive force to suppress the demonstrations, and at least 248 people were killed in the violence. The United Nations expressed deep concern over the growing violence. Secretary-General Antonio Guterres condemned the loss of life and destruction of property. He called on political leaders to engage in dialogue and to seek a peaceful resolution to the crisis.
The Secretary-General takes note of the announcement of the Constitutional Council of Mozambique regarding the outcome of the general elections held on 9 October 2024. He continues to follow developments closely. The Secretary-General is concerned about the post-election violence which has resulted in loss of lives and the destruction of public and private property. He urges all political leaders and relevant national stakeholders to defuse tensions, including through meaningful dialogue, legal redress, refrain from the use of violence, and redouble efforts to seek a peaceful resolution to the ongoing crisis in a constructive manner, which is essential to the collective future of Mozambicans. Thank you very much.
As security forces increased their presence in key areas, tensions remained high throughout the country. The protests have underscored the deep divisions in Mozambique's political landscape, as many citizens continue to demand change. Though the unrest has subsided for now, Mozambique's future remains uncertain. The nation's youth continue to call for accountability, while the government faces mounting pressure to address the grievances that sparked the violence.